there folks, it's Kikoskia here and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity, and we left off in that strange period of time between the end of the White March Part 1 and the start of the White March Part 2. To progress the story, we need to leave this area and rest once. We're not going to be doing that until we've tried our hand at a couple more bounties. Now if we go over here, we have the Celebrant's Dirge that we can assign someone to, but first we should read what it's about. We get the Celebrant's Gloves, some treasure, and an average item as well as a bit of experience. Since the end of the Saints' War, Dyrwoodans have gathered at Evandue Bridge to commemorate the sacrifice of a dozen who gave their lives to defeat Save Wide One. It has become customary for priests of Magran leading the procession to sing a dirge to end the ceremony. This year, when the priest attempted to sing a dirge, his tongue swelled in his throat and he died painfully before the assembled crowd. When another priest attempted to sing the dirge a month later, he suffered the same fate. Some believe the gods are to blame for the priest's death. Others suspect vengeful Red Serens. Whoever is to blame, the priesthood of Magran and the soldiers of Godhammer Citadel want them brought to justice. Well, Sir Spunty IV, it is time for yet another off-screen adventure. Honestly, Sir Spunty IV could have a whole game devoted to himself with the amount of shenanigans he gets up to. Now it is time to do an incredibly cheery thing and speak with Durance. There are more things you must discuss.
And what must you say now?
I have questions that I want to ask you. Not that you'll like it.
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skidding your knuckles on the wrong door.
There's one more thing I wanted to ask about Magran.
Gods, you are swelling with questions. One would think you were with child, or burning up inside.
Who are her enemies, Durance?
Before, when you asked about allies, well now, ally, enemy, that's a skin's edge of difference in history's eye. But there were enemies. Were.
The past tense there is concerning.
Aethys.
Durance gives a cold grin, nods.
But we sorted that out. Then, Hylia and her queen's crown of feathers and birds. Perhaps she claims to see the world from her perch. I hope she saw what happened to Aethys, and if she dares to walk upon an earth where such fire runs. Her temples are things of windows and twittering music. If a bird falls, know that it's a victory. Seeing another set of darting eyes from that feathered lady die is a pleasure to me.
You bear her a lot of rage.
She and her clergy offer shelter to the Aethysians. She's next for me.
Ominous, but not surprising considering it's you. Enough about Magran, I have other questions.
I suspect the answers will seed more questions.
I wanted to ask about the region and its history. Do you think there's a tie between the Hollowborn and the Godhammer?
Aethys was the god of rebirth, and his light does not fall on the Dyrwood. I've heard some claim it's his doing, his death. It's closed the halls to new souls. I doubt it. The Hollowborn have their roots in the acts of men, women. I feel it.
You're sort of right. It is the acts of the Leaden Key that are causing it. I wanted to ask something else about the region and its history. Do you know anything of the Dyrwood and the surrounding nations?
Dyrwood's the best of them. Still has spirit, if a land can have one. It's a place where a man can walk freely, even make new roads, and that's a rare thing in this world. Its generations, however, are damned, so no new footfalls may spell an end to it.
Do you mean the Hollowborn?
Yes. Aethys' last stab at revenge after he was ended.
Durance frowns.
Aethys was the god of rebirth, and his light does not fall on the Dyrwood. I've heard some claims it's his doing, his death. It's closed the halls to new souls.
He scoffs.
I don't believe it. The problem is closer than that, and as always it involves women and men, and they're always circling, within and without. The Valian Republics, Raid Ceres, the Saints' War. One big bladed spiral, shredding everything around it.
How do you feel about the Valian Republics? Durance snorts.
Fortune seekers garbed in robes of office. Manipulators, traitors and traitors all.
Don't hold them in high regard, I see. Durance grunts.
Any country so obsessed with style might as well be wearing scarves over their eyes. Keep vigilant, or they'll turn you into slaves as soon as ink dries on the trade treaty. The Dyrwood and all its internal riches are too tempting, especially if someone else tames the country and the face painters for them.
Face painters? Durance waves his hands dismissively.
Tribes, glanfathons, cluster around the ruins like flies.
What about Raid Ceres? Durance's face flushes, and a sheen of sweat forms on his brow.
Too many objectives to that so-called nation. Civil unrest, economic collapse, all tinder, just needing the right spark. Some farmer shows up, takes a god into himself, and takes a crown on his head. This divine kingdom he tries to set up goes about as well as you'd expect.
A trickle of sweat runs down the side of Durance's cheek and sinks into his beard.
Suddenly the population of heretics goes up by about half, and again. And Aethys starts turning his blood-stained gaze to every blasphemer he can find. Cleaning house is one way to put it.
His face darkens and his eye narrow.
Purge is another. Put them and their god in their place, though, with enough force to kill that damned country, too.
Not a supporter of the country of Raid Ceres, then? Aloth passes by casually, muttering under his breath. Surely you know where this is going by now. I know, but I must humor him.
It's not a country. It's a gathering of cowards, dear puppets. They used to be an optimistic bunch, a bright bunch. Was their undoing. Should have embraced their misery without letting a farmer lead them to a brighter ruin. Almost Aethys' puppets, too. Put an end to that. They dangled on his strings, Wide One dangled on theirs. They would have never had any success on the battlefield had not their god come down. The Saints' War,
Durance snarls.
needed to call on their god to have a chance.
We might as well talk about the Saints' War. Durance's eyebrows draw together in a frown. Then he grunts.
Keep forgetting your feet are new to the Dyrwood. The Saints' War.
Wasn't a war. It was a god stepping past himself. The country of Raid Ceres and all their heathens. They're paying for it now. Although by my count, the fire should have roared through their country with more force, catching all their souls. Truth, it wasn't even a war. It was a cautionary tale about pride. Specifically, Wide One's pride. He should have stayed a farmer.
What happened?
Was, 15, 16 years ago? 2807?
Durance pauses, then shakes his head and shrugs.
My memories are back with the younger me. I don't hold on to dates. I hold on to actions and causes. The war was an act of arrogance, born straight from Raid Ceres' twitching legs. A man thinking himself more than a man. Want to kill someone? Tell him a god speaks through him. Then tell him he means him to lead, which puts him at the front of any army. And the army was as strong as you'd expect for Raid Ceres, as sick as that country was to begin with. Yet a war was likely just what they needed.
What do you think's wrong with the country?
Raid Ceres has its share of troubles. It deserves all of them. It deserved Wide One. He was the light that led them to flame. Raid Ceres was in decline. Idea poison already eating its veins. Economic bleeding. The dying of their faith.
Durance frowns.
Then Wide One, this farmer, claims to take up Aethys in the flesh, and gives them the worst kind of hope.
What happened then?
They crown him.
Durance taps his head, making a slight bow, and when his face turns back to you, he's wearing a feral smile.
They make him king. The worst kind of blasphemy. And once he wears the crown on his head and the god in his flesh, why, he starts making changes. Divine changes.
Durance's eyes blaze.
Then he decides how he's going to change us. Save us.
How?
He marches on Dyrwood to free us. To free us from our beliefs, like he freed the other souls in Raid Ceres. Cold Morn offers up its belly with no resistance, and it's spared.
Durance snarls.
The bloodshed starts when he sacks Mercy Vale. A touch of irony, that. Puts it to the flame.
I've heard about Cold Morn, but what else do you know about it?
Durance spits, snarls. Cowards! And Cold Morn is an apt name for them. They lay still, frozen, while their fellows burned. They'll pay Margwyn's price one day for such cowardice.
What did Aethys do next?
Aethys kept marching. Dyrwood takes to the trees, cutting at his flanks, his scouts, his troops. It seems near hopeless.
Durance's face becomes grim, then smiles slightly.
Until Hal got Citadel. The Godhammer. There we put him to the flame, burned the god out of him, and if there ever was one to begin with, dozen brave men and women take to the bridge, make a stand. Then we torched him there with the fire of the Godhammer.
I know about the Godhammer already, but you might as well mention it.
Gods have taken flesh, in all respects, taking willing and unwilling vessels. It's not a violation, it's what gods do, as long as they accept all that comes with it. Men are weak. Gods? Well, we showed old Widwen that he was flesh and blood, no matter how much light was pouring out of his farmer's hands. Took men of faith to build a weapon, a Godhammer. Judgment. Proved him dead at Halgot Citadel.
It was a weapon of Dyrwood's people, their independence. There are few that would deny that Aethys overstepped. The Godhammer reminded Aethys of this. A fire and force so terrifying, so bright, it burned a god away.
Durance holds his staff, and his hands lock around it, tracing the etchings. As you watch, the top of the staff blossoms, burns brightly, and Durance speaks, his face illuminated in the fire.
A weapon that would burn brighter than Aethys, and we led him to it and burned him at the stake. The stake was the Godhammer, and we impaled him on it.
You said before you fashioned it. Durance nods.
Wasn't easy shaping it, crafting it, the pieces, the curve of the relic. Even then it was a massive thing, something that required a god to come to it, rather than be cast at him. No luring him to it. That was the easy part. Gods are prideful.
What happened?
We led him to fields, ones that he remembered as a farmer, perhaps. The fields right outside Halgot Citadel.
Durance frowns.
Now, Godhammer Citadel. It was right across the Evandir Bridge, an easy trek.
Durance frowns.
Men died. Then more died, luring Aethys to Evandu. We had carved veins and paths through the bridge, excavated the foundations, filled them with powder and ember-hungry grains eager to burn. Our hands had even pried the mortar and rock loose, sharpened them to points so that they might be rent from their foundations easier, and tear through the flesh of the pretender.
And so you used Evandu against Aethys?
We poured the Godhammer into its foundations with faith. Set it alight. Let the hammer fall, upwards onto the anvil. 8 died before the Godhammer fell, and the Godhammer claimed the remainder. 12 in all.
And Aethys went back to the ether, or the grave.
Durance grunts.
He's lost his voice and his love of war, I'll tell you that much. It took only taunts by men, and that was enough to lure him across the bridge, right into the new sun.
Durance straightens his back, draws a deep breath.
It let Ray and Sarah see how bright their arrogance had become, and became a symbol by which we answered their purge with one of our own.
You haven't given me many specific details about these purges.
We started saving the Aothasians from themselves, burning any that didn't die with their god. Heresy in Ray and Ceres is one thing. Heresy here in the Dyrwood comes with a more personal touch.
So you just answered their crime with one of your own?
As I see it, every Aothasian who still lives in the Dyrwood puts the nation at risk, is another dagger held to the throat of our faith. Root them out, burn them, or send them back to Ray and Ceres to wallow in the blood of their failure.
I imagine a deer listening to this with some minor worry. Then again, a deer knows that if Durance tried anything, he'd learn just how alone he is in his opinions. I wanted to ask you about something else.
Keep troubling me and I may extend the tithe bowl for each question. Enough questions for now. Let the road keep us until our next campfire.
Fair enough. We've learned more about Durance. Now it is time for us to think about some of these bounties. A bounty has been placed on a man known as Firedawn. He was last spotted setting up camp in the wilds around Longwatch Falls. Let's go over to Longwatch Falls and see if we... do we need to rest? Yes, we do. Well, good news. We can do that. And then we can give that encounter a go. We don't want to leave and rest because that will trigger White March Part 2. I'm not sure we're going to be able to deal with this bounty, but I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. Let's chat with you some more.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you?
I'd like to rent a room.
Top quality bear pelts on every bed. You won't be disappointed.
Indeed I won't. We're going to rest in the Golden Whale because it's the best room you've got. And there's no dialogue from Durance. The day that there's a little speech bubble there for Durance will be the day that I know we've got to the point where we can continue his personal quest. For all this dialogue we're having with Durance is in aid of that. You've got to exhaust every option that he's got. We've got to learn a lot about him. A lot about him. Let's go this way. Head over to Longwatch Falls, and we'll see if we can find this group. See if we can take on this group. I'm a little concerned we won't be able to. Oh, I see some things we can grab. Let us grab them. 2 tin hats. Over we go to Longwatch Falls. It'll take 6 hours. And hopefully, they won't be too far away, this group. We had a group here. We've also had a group there. Where else could they... Could they be over there? They could be. We haven't done that encounter yet. Let's have a cautious look about. See if we can find them. They're not here. They're definitely not there. Unless a group has... Oh! There's some loot I completely forgot to pick up here. I'll take it. Thank you. Better save after grabbing that. If I end up having to load, I'll probably forget it. Well, a little save. And onwards. You're not up here, are you? You're definitely not in that cave. No, you don't appear to be here. It's just a way out. You could be over there? Or maybe here? I don't know. I don't know. Well, let's zoom about a bit. Have a look. You're not there. You're not here. Oh, there's an ooze here. I wasn't expecting that, but we can handle an ooze. How about thee? How about thee? Won't use any of our limited resources. We'll just shoot here,
Following your
shoot there, and shoot and attack there. Oh, there's a little bit more. There's a couple of ice trolls too. That's going to be a little bit awkward to deal with, but we can do this. Let's get a disintegrate here. Okay, that's one ooze taken care of. Oh, you're petrified. That's a little awkward. But that's okay. We can handle this. We can handle this.
Yes.
So do this. Yeah, I know you're immune to the extra effect, the daze, but you're not immune to the damage. You're not immune to the damage. Okay, Durance, we are going to need this.
Aye?
Okay, you're back now. Good. Good, good. We need to take care of you very quickly. Very
How may I
quickly.
help?
Okay, you've used all of those. You might as well use this now.
Following your
I
lead.
need you to start taking care of the lesser oozes. Start taking care of those. You might as well cast that as well. Well, if you take care of the lesser oozes, that means less people that are going to be targeting us. Ice Troll is not doing too badly. Adds another one down. Now focus this one. And in a moment you're going to be gone. And we have 5, which means you could summon some ogres.
Let us help. We can help.
Yes, you can! And just like that, we've got this under control.
How may I help?
Attack there.
Yes?
You're nearly gone. Hold up. Be with you now. There we are. Now it's just you. Yep. They nearly perish.
Hey, leave it to me!
And then, kapow! Reduced to nothing. Excellent. Those ogres, really useful. Really, really useful. Ooh, tiny amount of money too.
Of course.
Oh, and that. Know, by the way, that the game went back to fast mode after we'd won that encounter, which is nice.
I'm here.
When we come back, folks, we will continue to search for this bounty. We need to find them. Can we take this bounty target down? That remains to be seen. I'll give it a go, though. Can't hurt. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not. If you are subscribed, press that bell for those notifications. And I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.